Scent Blocker Most Wanted is brought to you by Mossy Oak. It's not a passion, it's an obsession. Scent Blocker. Nothing gets you closer. Ford and your quality Ford dealers. Browning. The best there is. Cuddyback. Designed in the USA with quarter-second trigger speed. And Tree Spider. The new world of tree stand safety.
It's early November here in West Central Illinois, and the guys are getting set up for bow season. Due to a midsummer back surgery, Bob is restricted to hunting from the ground. I'm pretty sure he wasn't supposed to hunt at all, but he was determined to get out there somehow, and a brushed up ground blind was just the ticket.
Start cutting with the chainsaw, and first we'll get it in there, and then we go to covering it up. But we get right here where you're sitting right here like this, just a little bit, and I can see right now, you can see whole field. They come out of here like this, the wind right, crossbow. That'll do her. That's pretty good. From over there, coming out of that food plot, it looks pretty good. Well, this is it. November 1st. Been hunting a few times, haven't seen much. Matter of fact, our cuddybacks are showing us we have had very little buck movement over the last couple of weeks. Virtually zero in the daytime. This is the first time we've set this stand. This is a stand that we keep here. We've got whitetail imperial clover plot right here. Since we were here last about a week ago, we got a rub over there about this big around. I got a cuddyback right here that I just took the card out of, but I forgot my viewer, so I can't wait till we get to a computer tonight to see what might be on it. Last year, we had a real wide, kind of a crab-clawed 10-point, very nice deer. Hopefully he has survived because I think he was a 3 or 4 year old deer that he should be bigger this year. And I did have pictures of him. I think I actually seen him here in December last year, so he should have made it through the EHD, and hopefully he's in here and he's quite a bit bigger and heavier. This is becoming a more frequent concern for all hunters across the Midwest. The past few years, we've seen an incredible rise in the number of deer dying from EHD. And that's what this episode is really all about, is how EHD has affected deer populations throughout the Midwest, and how it personally affected our hunting here in Missouri and Illinois.
You can find lots more stuff about our show on our Facebook page, and follow us on Twitter at Most Wanted TV.
Scent Blocker Most Wanted is brought to you by Matthews Solo Cam, Catch Us If You Can, and Rage, leading the evolution in lethal technology.
It was 1955 in Michigan and New Jersey when biologists first put a name to what was causing mass die-offs of deer around the country. Before then, these mass die-offs had been called blackleg or blue tongue or black tongue or many other names.
The virus that causes EHD or blue tongue is caused by a tiny biting midge that's propagated near areas of low water. What happens is your water sources start to dry up. Deer get congregated to where there is water. And where the water level has went from where it normally is to where it is now, and you got all that nasty, mucky stuff that they got to walk through to get there, well, that is the breeding grounds of the midge. You know, we've had several hot, dry summers and falls, and those conditions have taken their toll on deer in many of the counties throughout Missouri and Illinois. You know, the total number of deer are down, the number of bucks are way down, and mature shooter bucks that are still alive were practically non-existent in daylight hours. So far, mature bucks are eluding us. You know, there comes a time when you might have to say, hey, they don't live here, you know. Here it is November 2nd, and on this particular piece of property, we are not finding any big boys.
Anything to say, John?
I concur with Larry's statement. But it is the 2nd of November. Bucks we've never seen make, cruise right on through, so we may get pictures of deer tomorrow that we've never seen on this place, which is the beauty of the rut.
Just put that decoy out. I just got in this blind. Didn't even have my release on. And here they come. We got caught basically with our pants down. Neither one of those bucks was a shooter this year. Year and a half and a 2.5 or a 2 and 3. Because they just came so quick. It was a little bit before 3 on a sunny day. They hit this plot. It is November 3rd and it's time for things to start happening. So the fact that we've seen 2 rack bucks with a whole lot of daylight left has got me stoked. So we'll see what's going to happen. Now this buck looked older than those first 2. Probably maybe 3 years old, wasn't quite sure. But he's definitely not one of our most wanted. Now, one good thing about today is, despite the lack of seeing any shooters yet, you can sure tell the rut is starting to pick up. Now, my only hope is that the shooters that we had pictures of on this farm the year before have made it through this latest round of EHD. You know, with the rut starting to pick up, all we really need is a weather change to really kick it in gear.
This segment of Scent Blocker Most Wanted has been brought to you by Premier Farm Realty Group. Own a slice of America's heartland. Scent Blocker Most Wanted is brought to you by the Whitetail Institute of North America. Deer nutrition is all we do. And S4 Gear, meeting the demands of nature and those who tame it.
With the introduction of spiderweb to the tree spider line, there's never an excuse to get in your stand without wearing a safety harness. For the first time ever, hunters can slip into a pair of spiderwebs and answer the necessity of safety. It provides freedom from all the straps and buckles and all the noise and hassle. Add to that the groundbreaking synthetic Trinity technology and you'll agree, this changes everything. After 2 straight weeks hunting our Illinois farm without seeing a shooter, Larry had to make a change. A friend of ours in Missouri told us he had caught some mature bucks on the cuttybacks in his food plots. So, while Bob stuck to the Illinois bluffs, Larry hit the river bottoms.
Well, for only being in the ground for about 30 days, that's a pretty good turnip. They got put in here late. And they're in an area where the soybeans got flooded out this year. This is in the Mississippi River bottoms and it was all wet. Couldn't plant. So soybeans grew in a little bit higher ground, so Steve come in here and planted tall tine tubers in this when the water went down. It's only been planted about a month.
We sat almost a month with no rain at all, and then it finally come up with the rain.
You got the old road bed that comes this way with the sloughs over there. The deer are going to come from this direction this way. So anything out of the west, you really don't want a north and you don't want an east.
Right. Yeah, something westerly. Another big tree rubbed right here, so I think one of the big guys might be setting up shop right here. And it's a great place for him to be hanging out and setting the stage for where he wants to be and dominate. Look at the whitetail tall tine tuber plot right here. Is it not beautiful? I've got a double stand right down here, and this is very encouraging. My hopes are getting up now. Things are starting to happen.
Got a buck coming in from the right, about 35 yards, coming right to the decoy. Unfortunately, he's a 2-year-old 8-pointer. Got me a little shook up there for a minute, but well, he's calmed down. We've got Whitetail Institute clover in here. As you can see, he feels comfortable enough. He's eating it right here. Now we got 2 decoys in the field.
These 2-year-old bucks are hope for the future in Illinois. As some of the few and oldest bucks on the farm, they're an example of how localized EHD outbreaks can really be. Just a few miles to the west, there are mature bucks. But in 2012, severe drought led to the worst EHD outbreak ever recorded in Missouri. Reports from Illinois and Iowa confirm 2012 is a devastating year for whitetails. But throughout the Midwest, reports of EHD deaths in 2013 were lower than the year before.
ScentBlocker Most Wanted has been brought to you by IQ, center the dot for the perfect shot. Block, history's toughest target. And Glendale, the biggest and toughest 3D targets in the universe. ScentBlocker Most Wanted has been brought to you by Winchester Rifles and Shotguns. Trust your hunt to a Winchester. Mission Archery. Ford and your quality Ford dealers. The Redemption Muzzleloader from LHR Sporting Arms, made for a lifetime, not for a season. And Gilbreth's Taxidermy, the official taxidermist of ScentBlocker Most Wanted.
So today on social media, people I'm talking to, and also just hunting friends across the country on the phone and texting, that there's activity ranging from bucks in lockdown with those pinned down in wide open spaces to not seeing many deer like me. So we're in a real good place here in Missouri. We got a great big patch of tall tine tubers, Whitetail Institute, tall tine tubers right over there. We got a little patch of it here, clover on the edge. We got a big Whitetail Institute clover patch. It's just beautiful on the other side of this waterway. We're in an area that if bucks get up on their feet and are trolling, you ought to see them. We got Dave the decoy out here in case we see a deer here. Someplace we can see 500 yards, I'm gonna rattle, grunt, try and get their attention, wag the tail, and see if we can't put him right here. So 3 o'clock, so we got a couple hours of daylight left, and hopefully today's the day that something happens.
It was super windy that afternoon, and like a lot of things, that could really put a damper on the buck activity. You know, we're seeing some spikes and some button bucks and things like that, but just are not seeing anything with a rack. Well, things aren't looking too good because we are just moments away from the last camera light. Like it happens so often, I just look up and boom, there's this deer coming out of the edge, all postured up, headed right at that decoy. I recognized him right away because I had seen him before on Steve's cutty-back pictures.
Wow. It's been a tough couple of weeks. And that's the first shooter buck I have seen this year. And he has been rageicized. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. He's a 13-pointer. A 13-pointer. Really cool buck. We got some trail cam pictures of him this summer, and he's got like a little turkey foot on the inside here, and one there, and a little tine there, and I tell you, I've been hunting for 2 weeks, either in Illinois or Missouri, back and forth, and this is the first shooter deer that we've seen, and it was right there at last light, like so many times they are, and he'd come right out. If it wasn't for the decoy on that whitetail plot there, I mean, he postured up and here he come. We were just about out of light. We had to make it happen. And fortunately we did, so we'll get him taken care of, and it is back to Pike County, Illinois, Hopewell Views in the morning.